Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. In this video we are going to discuss conversions of units, relationship between joules and ergs, and important units of force and energy. In addition, we will solve a numerical to understand the conversions of units. First, here is the question. So first pause the video and try to solve it on your own. Before solving question, let's learn conversions, that how can we convert kilometer per hour into meter per second in most easy and most short way. So here we have the kilometer, which is equal to 1000 meters, and we have the 1 hour, which is equal to 3600 seconds. And when we have the formula kilometer per hour, we can write that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So by putting the values of kilometer in meters and hours into seconds, we have this formula. Or we can say that 1 meter per second is equal to 3600 kilometers per divided by 1000 hours. So we got this formula by just cross multiplying, just crossing the 1000 to the side, which becomes in division, then 3600 into this side, which becomes multiplied with the kilometers. So now this is the formula, which you can simplify is 3.6 kilometer per hours, and we have here the important relationship which you are going to use in many conversions in the physics and in many numericals of the mechanics especially. So let's solve an example. So here we have a question. When t is 0, a motorbike starts from rest with constant acceleration and reaches a speed of 72 km per hour at a point 100 meter away from the starting point. How much distance the motorbike would have covered when t becomes 10 seconds? So these are the 5 options. You have to select the correct option, but first we go to the correct answer. Let's solve the question in proper way. So first of all, I would like to tell you that the most hardest part of the question is to understand the question. Once you understand the question, it's very easy to reach the correct answer. So first, after understanding the question, you have to collect the data. In data, you start require, so from the zero velocity, it means you have the zero require, so initial velocity, and your final velocity becomes 72 kilometers per hour, and you have to know that you have the answers in meters. You have answers in meters. You have to keep in mind and understand this logic of the question, that the question is giving you the final velocity in terms of 72 kilometer per hours and asking the answer in meters. So first you have to convert the velocity into meter per seconds. So if 36 kilometer per hour is equal to 10 meter per second, then 1 kilometer per hour would be equal to 10 meter per second divided by 36. Now multiplying 72 on both sides, so we have this equation that 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 10 divided by 36 meter per second, and by multiplying 72 on both sides, the equation becomes 72 kilometer per hours equal to 72 multiplied by 10 divided by 36 meter per second. By simplifying, you get the answer 20 meter per second. It means 72 kilometer per hours is equal to 20 meter per second. So we have the velocity, final velocity in terms of meter per second, and the other important variable you have to find is the acceleration. So here we have the equation by which you can find the acceleration. That's the a becomes equal to vf square, the vi square divided by 2 times the distance. By putting values, you get 2 meter per second square. So we found the acceleration as well. Now you have the final time after which the question asks about the second distance. So here we have our data. Vi is 0 and vf we found it, and a became 2 meter per second squared, and a is the first s which the car is covering when it achieves the velocity of 72 kilometer is 100. But the question is not asking about the distance which the motorbike covered after attaining the 72 kilometer per hour, but the question is asking the distance after 10 seconds. So we have to find the relation between distance, velocity and time. So we have vi 0 and a and t. When you multiply a with time, you get 200 meters, because you have found the acceleration and you have the time given already in the question. So we have 200 meters answer. So again, I would like to remind you that the most important and the most difficult part of the question is to understand the question. Once you understand the question, it's very easy to answer the question and to find the correct answer. Now moving on to the conversion of joules into ergs, then you have the relationship which you are supposed to memorize, but I would like to find the most easy way how to reach the conclusion. So joule is equal to kg meter square per second squared, because we have the ml square t minus square as the unit of joule or energy. So erg is the unit of energy in CGS system, and in CGS system we can write the erg as the gram centimeter squared per second square. So you know that 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And when you find the value of meter square, this is very high yield, because sometimes students get confused that how, when they say that how to convert the meter square into centimeter square. So you multiply 100 with 100 and centimeter with centimeter. By multiplying centimeter centimeter, you get centimeter squared, and by multiplying 100 with 100, you get 10,000. So 1 meter square is equal to 10,000 centimeter squared. As you know that second is same in CGS as well as SI system. So here we have that 1 joule is equal to kg meter square per second square, or 1000 grams and 10,000 centimeter squared per second squared. That becomes when you simplify the mathematics, it becomes 10 power 7. So again, we have a very important point here to note, that when you multiply the scientific notations, when you multiply the logarithms, you have the same base in the answer, and you have just to add the powers. And here we have 10 as a base, which we wrote as 10, and we have power 3 on 10 and power 4 on 10, so we added them and we got the answer 7. So moving on to the units, different units of energy are different units of heat, because heat is also a form of energy. We have joule in SI system, or kilojoule, which is a multiple of joule, and calories, which is very commonly used system, especially in your daily routine, in your calories intake, or in your medical sciences, or in your diets which you take. Everything you are going to have the calories as a unit of energy. Again, we have kilocalories, which is equal to 1000 calories, or dietary calories, that's also defined in 1 kilocalories. Again, we have the unit erg as a unit of energy in CGS system, and BTU. The BTU stands for British thermal unit, and it is the most frequently used when talking about heating and air conditioning units. So this is also commonly used unit of energy, but it's a little bit higher unit, which is equal to 1055 or 1055 joules of energy. And in the end, here we have the foot and pounds as a unit of energy. Don't get confused that foot and pound is not energy of unit. It is the energy of unit, because foot is what you can say length, and pounds is what you can say force. So when you multiply force with distance, you get energy. When you multiply force with distance, you get energy. Again, from the equation of work is equal to force into displacement distance as a dot product, you have the foot and pounds as a unit of energy. And here we have in final the different units of force as a You can define the force as a product of mass and acceleration, and here we have the dimensions of force is ml t minus 2, and pound is the frequently used unit of force, which is equal to 4.45 newtons, and you have to memorize this. Sometimes it comes up on the exams. And again, when you convert the newtons into pounds, just reverse the equation. So divide 1 with 4.45 and you get the 0.225 pounds. Or the relationship between Newton and dynes. Dyne is a unit of force in CGS system. We have 10 power 5. And again we have a ton is a commonly used unit of force, because it's a little bit higher unit, so we use it in certain conditions, and you just need to know this is 8896.4432 newtons, or 8896.4434 newtons. And sometimes you could be asked that ton is the unit of force. You have just reminded that ton is the unit of force. You don't need the value exactly, because it won't come on the exams most probably, but you could be asked about that ton is the unit of force. So thank you guys, hope you liked our video and got it helpful.